Hey, it's Lisa Robbin Young here, and I've been promising you guys for a little while now a video about some of the epiphanies that I've been having and some of the eye-opening experiences that have happened to me in the last couple of months. Just before we started this 90-day web adventure, I went to Sarah Robinson's Creating Irresistible Presence event, and some big epiphanies came out of that for me. Some of those I've already blogged about. You read about the learning to survive and and there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening to me. But the story I want to tell you today is actually about the trip home from Atlanta. Near the end of the event, I was given an opportunity to speak from the stage, and I'm working that little 3-minute ditty into a manifesto that I'm going to be putting together. But it impacted some people, and they made a point to find me and tell me that, you should be on a stage somewhere, you should be talking about this, you should be, that kind of stuff, which, I'm the one who's always, batting away those kinds of, thank you, that's really nice, but, I'm quite comfortable where I'm at. And something kind of got me when a handful of people who I really respect had comments of that nature for me. And these people don't know me, so I know they're not saying it to be nice. And so it struck me, and I kind of kept that with me as I was getting ready to head home. Went to the airport, and there was this interesting woman, and I'm sitting in the far, far, far back last seat, back row of this plane. And I have to obviously go through first class and every other seat, every other row on this plane to get to my seat. And this woman is hanging over one of the seats, calling to somebody else saying, "Hey, your husband's sitting in coach. I'm going to give him, one of our first class seats so he can come up here and ride with you," because apparently they tried to upgrade or something. I don't know. I don't know this story. I just thought it was interesting that this woman was willing to give up one of her first class tickets for someone that she didn't even know. And so she got out of the aisle so that I could pass and so that the rest of us could pass and get back to our seats. And as I'm oft wont to do when I'm sitting on a plane and I've got a couple of open seats next to me, I take out my journal and I just start writing. And the plane takes off, and somewhere mid-flight, she comes trotting back to the back of the plane. I'm right by the bathroom, so of course I'm assuming she's going to use the bathroom. And she strikes up this conversation with me. And I'm trying not to look distracted because I genuinely am interested and fascinated by this person, but at the same time, I don't know her. So I have that "who are you? Why are you talking to me?" kind of wall right here. But it's a low wall, so I can hide behind it if I need to, but I can still have a conversation. That kind of a wall. You know what I'm talking about. And she's talking to me, and it was like her body just kind of adjusted for a minute, and she stuck her arm in my face and told me I needed to write a book, and she starts giving me these details. And so I'm like copiously, furiously writing down all the stuff that she's telling me. And she just kind of stopped and she said, "It's just coming through me. It's not mine, it's for you." And I take this so seriously. When I get a sign, when I get an intuitive hit, when I get those kinds of godly enough interesting things happening to me, I pay attention. I don't believe she ever used the restroom at all. So this woman came all the way back to the plane just for me, which is really hard. It's hard for me to accept. It's hard for me to deal with, but I'm trying to accept it because I really didn't see her use the restroom. If she did, you know. So I get off the plane, and I live near Flint, Michigan, so it's not a big airport. It's not hard to find people in this airport. And I'm the last person, one of the last people getting off the plane, and I cannot find this woman. She is nowhere to be found, which makes it even more spooktacular. And I do eventually find her, and I'm talking to her, and she's like, "This isn't my story, it's your story. It's going to be a bestseller. It is totally yours. Just take it and run with it and pay it forward." And that was about 2 months ago. And I have been kind of freaking out ever since. Not because of the story. I think the story is fantastic and amazing and wonderful and all that, but because I can't even stop crying. I've shared a little of this already on the blog about how 15 years ago, more or less, I kind of had a path. I was going to be a rock star. I had studied and learned all this stuff and knew how to do all these things. And I was the kind of person when you said, well, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, you don't know anything about that, I would just go out and learn what I needed to learn so that I could go do the thing that everybody said I couldn't do. And now I'm 15 years older, and that scares me a lot because I want to do this TV show. I want to do this radio show, and I've never done anything on this scale before. I've never done anything like this before, and yet all the doors are opening. All the things are happening, and it almost feels like it's not me. It's not my life happening. It's like I'm just kind of standing here as all this stuff is happening around me, to me, through me, whatever. But the last 2 months have been such an incredible whirlwind that I know it's where I'm supposed to be. As scared as I am and as uncertain as I am of what the next step is, I have complete core alignment that what I'm doing is actually exactly where I need to be, even though it's scary. It's probably where I was supposed to be 15 years ago, and I was too scared then to follow through because, well, I'm pregnant, I got a kid, and, I got to be responsible and, take care of this, new life, and, he's counting on me, and all of that, be a good mom, take care of your son stuff. That's neither good nor bad, it's just where I was at the time. And so I made choices that supported that safer existence. And last night, I was with some friends of mine, and one of them is very, very competent in the arena in which I'm trying to get into. And he said something to me that if I articulated it in words on a screen, would lose so much of the depth and the meaning and the just loving compassion with which he said it. And the reason I'm an ugly crier, guys, I'm sorry. The reason I'm doing this right now is because I know that for me, it really felt like when he said these words to me, it really felt like the doors that had been locked and chained and barred off and closed, and there was like no possible way of entry into this room inside me. It was like when he said that, they just dissolved, and I mean just like gone. And this flood of, oh my God, I can finally be me. And I know, I'm pretty certain he didn't expect that what he would say would have this kind of impact. But the reason I'm sharing it with you is because I think a lot of people wait their whole life to hear the words that he spoke to me, that they may never hear them. And I don't want that to happen for you. So I'm going to say them to you now. And I'm going to try and share them with as much depth and compassion and love as he did for me last night. And he said, Lisa, you are so brave. And you are so courageous, and you have done so many things that I wish I had the courage to do. You have demonstrated so much more courageousness in doing the things that you've done and in going the places that you've gone that I wish I could have a fraction of what you have dared to do. And you have so much more left to do. And so my commitment to you is that I will take you as far as I can go. I will help you as much as I can. I will do everything that I can for you, but recognize that I have limits. And I know what my limits are. And I don't want that to be your limit. And you can go as far as you want to go. And know that I will be overjoyed to see you go as far as you can. Even if that means that you'll pass me. Don't keep yourself small in a small town, in a small space, in a place full of small people, because you're so much bigger than that. I'm willing to let you use me. I am voluntarily letting you use me to get to where you need to be. And I will help you as much as I can and take you as far as I can. And I want you to go and grow and shine. And when he was saying all of this to me, I realized that one of my biggest fears in standing out is that the people around me who have helped me get to where I am, who have supported and encouraged me most of my life, wouldn't be there anymore. She's too big. She's too big for herself. She's forgotten who we are. I can't hang out with her anymore. And I know on one level this sounds really arrogant, you know, but at the same time, it's really one of my deepest fears. I've struggled a lot with the idea of, yeah, what if I really was a rock star and like had to have security and people, around me to protect me from crazy people and whatever. And in the back of my mind, I always knew, oh, that's never going to happen, so I don't really have to worry about it. And now I'm facing big, 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 potentially that kind of level stuff, and all of that starts coming into play. Now, I'm still quite a ways away from that piece of the event horizon, again, if it really does happen, but now I'm in a position where I believe that there's actually a possibility, a pretty good possibility that it would happen. And you'll start to see this as you follow along with what we're doing here. Um, but in him saying that to me, it gave me permission to just go ahead and stand out. And one of the activities that we did this past weekend, there were two that really hit me hard. And Teresa knows about this. I was at Teresa Romain's Breakthrough Abundance live workshop. Just an amazing, amazing weekend. And the baby picture post, when did you stop being you? That's one of the things from this weekend. But we did two verbal exercises where we had to practice, you know, saying that we're amazing. I'm Lisa Robin Young and I'm amazing. And say it like we mean it, like we believe it. And the first, 25 times you say it, your body doesn't, it's like rejecting the kidney or something. It's like, that can't be true. I have so much programming. This is not true. And when people tell me I am amazing, it's like, oh, whatever. I know lots of people who are way better than me. I mean, we constantly deflect our amazingness. So I've been practicing saying I'm amazing. Again, not because I want to be arrogant, but because we are amazing. I'm amazing. You're amazing. You have wonderful gifts to bring to the world, or you wouldn't be here paying attention to this right now. It wouldn't matter to you. It wouldn't resonate with you. You're fascinated by what I'm doing, at least in some respect, because you feel a little of it in yourself. And that's just how we identify with people. It's just how we relate. And you're amazing. You are bona fide 100% amazing. You have amazingness oozing out of you, and you don't necessarily even want to acknowledge it. So that was the first one. And the other one that I didn't participate in directly, but got to watch. And so it was like they were doing my work for me. Um, I was born to stand out. And when I was young, I knew that. I was 100% confident, I'm smart and I'm a good performer and I'm flexible and agile and I can, turn on a dime and I can think strategically in different ways. I mean, I have these competencies, these gifts and abilities that I've just had. And I knew when I was little, I'm going to be a rock star because I'm going to be, this amazing whatever. And life kind of packed all that in and said, not right now. You got other stuff to deal with. And so, trying to hide when you were born to stand out, the Petunia in the onion patch. That was a song my mom used to sing all the time about the lonely little Petunia in the onion patch. And I always saw it as being lonely and little. And why would I want to be the Petunia in the onion patch? And my perspective was changed this weekend with, you know what? It's kind of cool being the Petunia in the onion patch. Everybody can see you, you know. There's a preciousness to being something so outstanding, something that just is remarkable. And I want that for my life. And I want that for you if that's where you're headed. I mean, we don't give ourselves enough credit a lot of times. And, I'm teaching the thing I most need to learn. And we are amazing people. So today's post is, I guess, a head game if you want to go there. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what I've waited 36 years to hear. You have permission to be amazing, to stand out and do the thing that only you can do in an amazing way. And maybe nobody's ever done it before, but you can revolutionize something in your market, in your industry, in your family, in your life, in your world. Don't be scared. Okay, be scared because, we're all scared. But do it anyway. And go confidently knowing that there are people out there who want you to succeed, who want to see your amazingness and your light shining and just overflowing and sprinkling down on them because they don't think they have the amazingness that you have. Don't hide your gifts. And know that there are people around you who will take you as far as they can take you, and then you're gonna have to move on. Not because you don't love them, not because they don't love you. In fact, it's because they love you that they are willing to let go even when you're not. Open your hand and let them take it. And when they let go, don't be afraid. It just means it's time for you to take another hand.